65%.
All right, it's 6:30, and we are going to call this meeting to order of the Wareham Finance Committee. It is Monday, April 22nd. We're at the Wareham High School Library, and I would like to ask the clerk to call the roll.
Thomas Goggin.
Here.
Dominic. Mark.
Here.
Jerry Sabansky.
Here.
Jerry Smith.
Here.
Forget you. Brianna King.
Here.
Matt Rose.
Present.
Julie Moran.
All right, and Heidi Churchill is not here. As far as I know, she will be, but she's not here yet. So there are 7 of us. We have a quorum, and we will proceed. And the first item on the agenda is approval of the March 27th, 2024 minutes. As you recall, we started just asking, are there any corrections to the minutes? Does anyone have any corrections? I hear none, and therefore the minutes are accepted. I'm not sure where. Okay, the next item, you received the Barrasso invoice, Kelly Barrasso, our minute taker, for $168.75. I have authorized that for payment, and I'm just reporting back to you, as I'm required to do, that I have done that.
We don't need a motion for that.
No, don't need a motion.
We voted on that, remember?
Oh, that's
So
right.
she get paid in a timely manner.
Exactly. So the next item on the agenda is Town Meeting Article S7, the union contracts. And I believe that right on cue, our fine town administrator, Derek Sullivan, is here to explain to us the contracts.
All right.
Thank you, Derek.
Assuming I should be on camera.
You probably should be
So,
on camera, yes.
So the first one we'll go over is the laborers, the wastewater treatment plant operators. So if you all have a copy of that contract.
Everyone should have received a copy.
All right. So this is a 3-year contract. As you know beforehand, if you've been here before, we did a 2-year with them because we were not sure whether we were going to continue this type of operation, do some sort of privatization, but with Director Kransel and the staff, they've really been doing an amazing job. So we're going to keep it in-house. Some language changes talking about the employee evaluation period, some of the OT things just to make it easier for us, from OT, from when you can call out, what might impact you on your sick days, things such as that. When you're coming in for holidays, just remember this is a 24/7 operation when it comes down to it. So we'll have employees working on holidays and, so that's part of it. We put in the evaluation for them, which all the other units have. They did not. So, and the good thing about evaluations is, as well, to get a step increase, you have to pass your evaluation. So, in there you'll see part of that, so through part 3. And then what you're really going to be interested in is you start with the compensation. Now this is interesting because they currently, and I'll go with the starting pay on them, the laborer, a step 1 gets $18.14. You go out 4 decimal places, but I'm not going to bore you. We've already been paying them basically a surcharge of $2 an hour for the work they've been doing. While some of them, you've come in as laborers, you can be necessarily not a skill set. We have a lot of them in there that can tear the machines apart blindfolded and put them back together. Really excellent. So we've now moved that first step up to $21 per hour. It's a substantial change, but we've already been paying them the $2. Now I've been trying to figure out how to explain the cost, but I'm saying it's a new contract, so let's give the whole cost on it. And then effectively for the years 2 and 3, you'll see a 2% increase. We also changed the steps from 3% to 2.5%. We reduced that so it's not so much of an impact up front. We're giving some for the licenses. You'll see there's some additional, should be some increases for that. And then, sorry, my 2 are running into one another. But so that's really the main one, is the income on there. So there's 8 of them, and the cost because of this, with the $2 memorializing it, when I factor everything in, it's $45,000.
$45,000 increase.
Correct, yeah. We have it within the budget. It's not insubstantial. But just to give you an idea, these are the wastewater. These are the people that deal with our filth. This contract brings them up to within 3% of the school, 3 cents of the school custodians. So I think I also looked at some of the other communities, and it brings them within the range. Some of them, it actually doesn't bring them up to their level, so. Like I said, while expensive, these have been in arrears, so I think it's well worth it for them. That is one of our key things for the future.
Any questions on any of that? Jody?
And I should know the answer to this. How many steps are there?
There should be, I think these guys have 9.
So that leads into my next question. Are all the contracts have the same amount of steps and years and everything?
Yes and no.
Perfect, the definite maybe.
Yes. No, some have a few less. There's still some that have, we've been doing away with a lot of the senior sort of steps, but like the 4 persons that you'll see later still has a 20-year step and a 10-year step. But the way compensation is growing so much, we're getting rid of those because, once people are getting stepped out, they're moving on to another town. So, yeah, so once you got somebody, if they say, well, I'm gonna be at this step for the next 5 years and getting maybe a 2% increase, if I go to this other town, I'll get a 10% right off the bat. We're seeing those types of changes.
So the steps are a little different. How about the money? I saw, I think it's this contract, they were going $1 across all steps.
Right.
This one, you got a percentage worked in.
Yeah, this one, you'll see the percentage between steps is 2.5%.
Is it
Do you want to
2.5%
share?
of all the contracts?
No, some of them, some are still 3%. So as we move on, as things change, we start changing.
Okay.
Some most of them are 3% in between steps, and some have super steps, and those are the 20-year, things like that could be up to 4%.
So you're working towards kind of
We're changing them,
standardized.
yeah,
Okay,
you try,
I'll use 2.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to interrupt for just one moment and recognize that Heidi Churchill arrived at, I think, 6:37
I'm sorry, I
You're
went
fine.
to the high school.
to the elementary school. You're fine. Sorry.
so that would be the laborer's contract. And the adjustment we made is we essentially made a new salary scale, and the adjustment is on step 1, you're in the 15% range. But like to your point, on step 9, it's more of an 11% range because of the way if you do something, an adjustment that goes across the board, it actually, for the ones when you make more money, it's less of a percentage if it's the same amount across the board.
Of course. That's math.
Yeah.
That's simple math.
And Derek, I know that our new sewer director is really focused on really helping laborers advance more certifications. So is he like projecting as a result of this some of the levels, who's gonna fall into levels going forward, or is he just?
Yeah, so what we've done too is we've added a skilled labor position, which they
Yeah.
didn't have before, which is at $23 an hour
Right,
starting.
right.
So it gives them something to go for. In the past, it was if you received your grade 3 operator's license, you would then get these adjustments. Well, we have people that are brilliant, they're just not test takers.
Sure.
And I would rather have them there
Yes.
than, try and
Good.
force a test down their throat. And the way that's working is through these reviews, the director can make recommendations for upgrades as well.
Good.
So it's, he's bringing, it's a merit system.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is
Okay.
what you want.
Good, thanks.
All right. All right, and Heidi, the ties are because it's Alan Slavin's last meeting. All right.
On the select. As a
Are
select.
we ready to go on to the next contract?
Yes, and the next one is the 4 persons. The 4 persons, we were trying to figure out what to do, because with the adjustments from the laborers, these are our supervisors of the laborers. They're working 4 persons, but they're almost like crew chiefs when it comes down to it. Including one position's actually basically the WPCF assistant director when it comes down to it. So what we agreed with them to make it work was, and there's 4 active, 2 in municipal maintenance and 2 in water pollution control facility, although I think they might have just upgraded somebody a 3rd from WPCF, but, so looking at that, it used to be 4 people in municipal maintenance, but those 2 positions aren't there anymore. So if you do give somebody a $2.50 an hour raise, it works out to about $5,280. And then a $1 raise is, if there's 2,080 work hours in a year, so $1 an hour is 2,080. But you really look at it for the first year for the impact. So across 4 of them, it's about $20,000.
Questions?
And I know you've said this before, you've already put this money in this budget.
Yeah, we have it available. I won't require an additional appropriation, so.
And I thought I heard you say that somewhere.
Yeah,
In the
so
process.
we know, part of it, what we do is we do know that there's probably, you try and bring it in there for a percentage wise, then we've been unable to fill some positions, so you know you have at least one that's a gap position during the fiscal year.
You can draw from that.
You're correct, yeah.
Okay. Questions? All right, thank you, Derek.
All right, thank you.
Get on
Appreciate
to
it.
your thing.
On to the next.
All right, and that just leaves us with, we need to vote on this article. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Recommend.
All right, second. Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of recommending Article S7, union contracts, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No? Abstaining? All right, it passes 8-0-0. All right.
You know, I
and-
just thought of another question I would like to have asked. I think this is nothing serious. Are all the contracts settled? I'm just a little curious.
I think all the contracts
I think
that,
this
for
was
this
the
year.
last 2.
These are
Right,
the
there's
two.
2 more next year.
yes,
Yeah.
but
for this
current
year,
contracts are all
everything
set.
is-
FY 2025.
All right. Does anybody feel compelled to reconsider any of the votes that they've made on any of the other articles?
I do.
Okay?
The marijuana one,
Yes?
I'd like to abstain.
Okay. All right, I will make a note of that. Any other changes on that vote? So that's 2 abstentions on that one, I believe.
We actually have to,
Yeah, you have to,
All right.
if you were in
Let's have
the
a motion.
prevailing side, they have to make a motion
All right.
to reconsider.
All right.
I move, which one, which article?
It's Article 13.
Article 13. I move to reconsider Article 13.
Second.
All right, discussion? All those in favor of reconsidering, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? All right,
I move to recommend Article 13.
is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. No. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 noes. Abstaining? 2.
Two.
All right, so it is defeated 0-6-2. All right, I will make a note. I believe who's reading that one?
That'd be me.
Okay, you'll take care of correcting the vote then. All right, any other business?
You're gonna, read the vote counts like you did last year. You're gonna do them all.
No, whoever's reading the motion will read the vote count too.
Thank you.
All right,
Okay, go.
all right. Everybody got that? Understand what you need to do?
I do have them written down if you need it.
Yeah, and I do too.
Say it again.
And I do have them written down if you need it.
Yeah,
Yeah, let me just get mine.
Yep.
all right.
We
All right.
just talk about the one that we wrote.
Yes, you read the motion that you wrote, of the article that you wrote. When Margaret asks, when the moderator asks, what is the finance committee recommendation? You read the vote and the recommendation,
Okay.
what's in italics in
Okay.
the report.
8 and 9. I think they were all yes.
Annual 8 and 9, 800, both of them.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Almost all the votes were 8-0-0. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right, can't be discussed. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? It passes 8-0-0. Let's go sit on the stage. I'm not sure, we may have to move some chairs, because I'm not sure